Welcome to the Aquaspresso Coffee Academy. Today we're going to be comparing the Jura WE8 versus the DeLonghi Prima Donna. So the Jura WE8 and the DeLonghi Prima Donna are both the flagship models in each of these brands, and both are great brands. So today we're going to be comparing both, and there are pros and cons to each. So when I firstly talk about aesthetics, I almost always give the points towards Jura because I think they put a lot of effort into their aesthetics. This DeLonghi Prima Donna is probably the only time I'm going to say that I prefer the look of the DeLonghi over the Jura. Obviously it's about preference, you're going to have to decide for yourself, but in this case I think it's a great looking machine. Secondly, in terms of size, both these machines are intended for office use. And this is where I would say the DeLonghi falls the shortest. The WE8 has great sizing in terms of the bean hopper being 500 grams and the water tank being 3 liters, where the Prima Donna has a water tank of a measly 1.4 liters and a bean hopper of 250 grams, which is kind of standard. But 1.4 liters means you're constantly filling that water tank, which becomes a mega pain. Both machines can make a lot of drinks every day. They're not going to break down, but having to fill the water every few minutes means that it probably is going to be a big frustration for large office use and might mean that you need to put it in a boardroom or so, the DeLonghi. Thirdly, in terms of features, both can do pretty much everything and everything well. So you got everything from espressos, coffees, cappuccinos, lattes on both models, and both have one-touch functionality for every one of those drinks. So if you want to go to a latte, or if you want to have a macchiato, or whatever strength you've predetermined, literally go to either of these machines, press a button, and you're done. So functionality, I wouldn't give a point to either one. Really, both can do pretty much everything. Fourthly, price. Now, this is where DeLonghi are kind of famous in the industry for having probably the best value coffee machine, the best value for money coffee machines you can get. Now, the Prima Donna is an expensive coffee machine. It's kind of a little bit different to the norm in DeLonghi. The WE8 is around about a 20,000 Rand coffee machine, with the DeLonghi being about 2,000 Rand more expensive. So price-wise, unfortunately, WE8 wins by a little bit, but DeLonghi is still not too far off. Lastly is backup support, and this is obviously super important, but unfortunately something we often think of a little bit too late after we purchase the machine. Now, both are sold quite differently through South Africa. DeLonghi is mostly sold through retailers, where Jura is mostly sold through coffee specialty companies or coffee machine specialty companies who only deal with coffee. And if you've ever dealt with a retailer, you know when something goes wrong, you know it can be quite a difficult, long process. Usually what happens, you bring your machine back to the retailer if it has a problem, they then send it to wherever the agents are in the country, the agents then try and fix it, when they're done they send it back to the retailer and then eventually comes back to you. And this is typically quite a long process. Differently in the Jura process, when you're dealing with a specialty coffee company or a company again that only deals with coffee machines, they mostly fix it themselves. When they're done, they'll pick it up. Firstly, they'll pick it up from your office or house. When they're done, they'll deliver it back to your office and house. So in terms of getting your support and getting that turnaround time much quicker and much easier in the Jura case. So I hope those things help you. I hope you make a good decision. Good luck.